Hello guys, welcome to online course on Android. So the previous tutorial we saw of the working of an particular intent, correct? Hope you have worked on it and created an intent. If not, you can just load up the Q&As for me. All right, now this was the implicit intent we were talking about, correct? Now today's tutorial we're gonna learn about the explicit intent. Now what did I say in the previous tutorial? I just said that in implicit it just takes up any kind of a text. I give edit text, okay, I just put it up ESAC learning or google.com or facebook.com and you just saw it loading, correct? Now in an explicit intent, it is something like I'm going from one activity to another activity, okay? That means from one window to another window. All right, now that is called explicit, okay? All right, now we'll start up again with a normal thing. We'll have a new project uploaded, okay, and I'll say explicit, okay. All right, so I'll finish it up. All right, so in an explicit layout we're gonna talk about one activity to another activity. Now there we saw only one activity, guys, right? Am I right? In a previous intent we saw implicit intent, we saw one activity. In that only activity we are loading with one XML. Now explicit means we have got one activity and it is to go to another activity. Now for example, I can have one one text view, okay, one text view saying that this is the first activity. Then I've got a button. When I click, it goes to another activity saying this is second activity, and I've got a button there to come back saying go back to first activity. Hope you got it, guys, correct? So it's like one place to another place. From that another place I come back to the previous place. So I need how many files here? Basically for one activity I'll be having one XML file, design file, and one Java file. So now I've got two activities. One is the main activity, another one is the second activity. So I need two XML file and two Java files. So we'll talk about it, we'll create it. Now basically in the first activity we'll see what I have to do. So we will create, okay, so we will create in this activity. So we'll just remove this. All right, so what I said, guys, so I just will have one text view and one button. So we'll be having one text view, okay. All right, so I'm gonna set it up so you can see it will be faster. As you also do it, it will be very fast. So I'll just keep it here and I'll have a one button for me, okay. So when I click, it will go to the another activity. Again, click means on click listener. Hope you remember that, right? Okay, all right, now I'm gonna set this up. Okay, I'm done with it. All right, now I'm gonna go to my design phase, and instead of text view I'll say what will I say? This is first activity, okay. And in the button I will say when I click the button it should go to the next activity. So go to second activity. Okay guys, hope you are clear. And idea, everything will be generated by itself, okay, you don't have to worry for that. All right, so everything will be wrap content. Great. So if I see my design, if I launch it, so let us see how it will look. Hope it as it's a continuous video, so I've kept my system running from past 3 days without offing it. All right, so it should run fast. All right, so I just created one button, I've created one text view, guys, okay. All right, so no errors, good. right? So design basically will not get any errors. Okay, all right, now let it launch. Okay, all right, now you can see here guys, I've got what, this is the first activity, this is first activity. Then when I click this, it will go to the second activity. No action is performed because I didn't go to do anything. Before that, what I did, I tell you guys, we need to go to the second activity. I need to have one more activity there, and that activity should have a text called this is second activity, and it should have a button called come back to main activity. I can give the name something like that. So how we gonna do that, how we gonna create it? Okay, all right, how we gonna create it? So we have got two files here. One is a layout file, XML, and our main activity. So this is activity main. So all I'm gonna is that right click it. Okay guys, so I'll say new, I want a XML file, layout XML file, and I'll rename it as what? Activity second. I can give any name, that is up to you. You can give any name. So I'll give, you cannot give two separate this thing, so I give a underscore. So I'll say finish. Okay, so this is my second. So I'll create here also along with that. So I'll say new Java class file. Okay, okay, it is updating seriously at this point of time. Okay, all right, so we'll come back to main activity. So let me see if I can do it. Yes, all right, so I'll give it as second activity. Okay, all right, so I've got two files guys. One is main activity, another one is a second activity, correct? So we'll first design the second activity. So same here, whatever we had, so I can just copy and paste it. So I'll just copy this thing. Okay, I'll just copy this, Control C, I'll go here. Okay, okay, all right, all right, all right. So that basically comes with a linear layout. So I need a constraint layout, so I'll copy it full. Okay, you can do it. So because if I do it more, keep on typing, it will take a lot of time, so I'm taking that only. So I'm gonna change this here. Okay, so I'm gonna say I'm in the activity second, so I'll say this is what guys, second activity. And for the button, what I'm gonna give a text as go to main activity. Okay, go to main activity. Okay guys, hope I'm clear with it, hope you got what I talked about it. So we have created here two files. One is the first file which speaks about main activity XML file, and the second file will speak about the what guys, so the second file will speak about the second activity. Okay, all right, now how will I do it now? What is the first basic thing what I did in an intent? I went to the first thing. So I'm gonna, design is done. Now what is the main activity? What I have to do, how to create an intent? If I have to go from one place to another, I need to say new intent, correct? But before that, I need to specify the IDs for it, correct? All right, now what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna say button, correct? And I will say let me give here, correct? So I'm gonna give here as button. Okay, all right, sorry, capital button. Okay, all right, so button. Okay, so I'll give a name. Okay, Alt Enter. I need to import it, am I right? Yes, so you can see that I imported it. Okay, all right, now button. Okay guys, now I need to call the second activity, so I'll give a name. So I'll say btn underscore call the second activity. This is just a variable name. Okay, you can give anything, whatever you want, correct? So you can specify it as, you can keep it very simple, because I give it as the full name because it will be easy for me to understand. So that's basically necessary. You need to understand what you're doing, otherwise if I giving A, B, C, you won't be knowing what exactly you're doing. So what we are trying to do is that when I'm clicking on the button, it should go to the next activity. So I need to call, so that button calls the second activity. Okay, all right, it's not highlighted guys because we are only declaring, we are just retrieving the resources later. So where I do it after this, am I right? We did it in an previous intent, correct? How will I do? I will say button, okay, call activity. So where is that button called activity? It will be in find, where guys? Find view by ID. So what is the ID? Button, correct? R ID. Okay, so you can see I have got a button, correct? So I have a button, so it takes that. All right, so this is the basic basic thing what we are gonna do. Now once you do that, what I have to what has to listen for me? The on click listener. Text view is only to view it. So here I'm just viewing the text, I'm not doing any edit text, I'm just viewing the text. So I'm not putting anything for the text here, text view or something. Only for the edit text I had to take it because I typed there, so I have to retrieve that ID. Here edit view ID, text view is just to view it. All right, so I just give it in my design phase. So when I launch it, so I can see that there is some text in that, otherwise it will look only a button there, correct? All right, now what I click, when I click on this button called second activity, that is button dot, okay, so how will I write it? No, I can give it as second activity also. Okay, I can give the name something like this only. Okay, if I want to give go to second activity, I can give that, but again the text will be same. So I've already assigned it. So what will I do? It has to listen to my this button. Okay, this button, what it has to listen, it has to set on click listener. Am I right guys? Yeah, set on click listener to new, what guys? New view. Am I right? New view on click listener. So when I do that, automatically these things will be generated, which we saw, correct? Then as usual guys, what is that? Intent. Am I right? So I'm taking an intent. Did I go wrong? Okay, no. All right, so I'm taking an intent of the particular intent. All right, so yes, alt enter, done. All right, so intent of intent equal to the new intent, which I am particularly specifying, new intent of that particular variable, correct? This variable. Okay, all right, so what I'm gonna do that, from where to where I'm going? From this class, from this class I have to go to the another class, from this class, so from here I'm going to there. Okay, before how it was, we had to just give new intent and I had to just do the parser thing and do it, but here I need to go from the main activity, that is from main activity. Okay, so hope you know, we remember this word called this, correct? From main activity to second activity. Okay, what is that? Second activity dot class. Okay, so when I do that, what will happen? What it says when I click on it, new intent, from this activity, this Java class, I will go to the second activity dot class, means here I have to go, and whatever is displayed here will be displayed, that is the XML file. So whatever clicking is done, which goes for the another activity, this activity, and it will come back to this activity. All right, so how do I do that? What's the next line? Start the intent. Am I right? Yeah. All right, sorry, start the activity of that particular intent, right guys? Okay, all right, that's the first job, correct? That's the first job. Now we cannot run it because we are not connected it to that. Okay, so I need to connect it. So how will I connect it? I need to write a code for it, correct? So it has to go to that particular class and do that. Okay, I think this, hope you have understood guys. So it is basically very simple what we have done here. Okay, so we have taken the first this thing and we have generated the particular class out here. Okay, all right, now coming to the second activity now, if you want to run, okay, we're gonna check it out. Okay, so this is one thing, and when it loads the basic first activity .xml, the design phase will load. Am I right guys? So hope the yes installation is taking place. Yes, it's launching an activity. Okay, all right, now this is the first activity. Nothing is performed unless and until I click. So what does in here it says, what it says, if you need to go to the second, go to second activity, there's a button which I assigned here, set on click listener. I already found it, its ID. So when I listen, it should start a new intent. It will start a new intent. So when it goes to the new intent, now it won't happen because I have not connected anything there, correct? So when it goes to the new intent, it will take that particular class. Now coming to the second activity, now we need to do that. All right, so what it says here, now this particular, it should extend, correct? It should extend. All right, it extends the basically whatever app comp. Okay, so if you feel it tough, you can just, you know, copy this, okay, and paste it here. So you can do that, okay, but remember, again, instead of, you say okay, and instead of main activity, you need to take a second activity, okay, TVT. All right, done. All right, now so from here where I'm going, guys, so when I'm going to my second activity, okay, second activity XML, it should come back to the main activity. So what I'm gonna do, I need to specify that particular button. Am I right? Yeah. All right, now yes, all these things is pretty easy for us now. Am I right? Yeah, so we just, you know, import that particular class out here. All right, so button, so what will I give? I'll just get btn or a button, okay, whatever, it's up to you, whatever you can give. So what it should call, it should call the main activity. Am I right, guys? Okay, it should call the main activity, not highlighted now because we are not gonna retrieve anything, correct? Okay, all right, now yes, all these things we can just copy and paste it, and basically this is very important because it has to retrieve the files out there. Okay, so only thing what I'm gonna change here is the activity main, correct? So what is mine? It has to launch, so it has to launch activity second. Am I right? Yes, activity underscore second. All right, now what's next? Now once we do that, what we will do, we need to call the button. Am I right? So I'll say button, sorry, button. All right, so I'm calling the main activity button. Now it is highlighted. Am I right, guys? So you need to view it by ID, correct? All right, so you need to view that button by ID. So we'll say find view by ID of what, guys? Of that particular button, correct? For ID dot button. Great. Okay, all right, now sorry. Okay, now once you do that, what, guys, what are you gonna do? So when I click on that, it should listen, correct? So I think we can do this only backup. Okay, all right, so so I'm gonna do that. All right, so only changes I'm gonna make is I'm gonna say button, right, call main activity, okay, and instead of main class, I need to give, this will be my second activity, okay, this which goes to main activity. Am I right, guys? Yeah, so this happens here. So when I basically do that, so it will come back here. Okay, all right, now this is a basic thing, guys, as we did it. Now this is the second activity, we saw the main activity, we just did it. All right, so we'll run the file, we'll see how it works. Okay, hope it doesn't give any errors. If it gives errors, we can debug it, it's not a problem. All right, okay, so Gradle is building, it is installing, we are in the main activity. Okay, so is it installed? Yes, it's installing the APK. So this is the first activity, we need to go to the second activity. Okay, all right, now it will throw me an error. Now this is very interesting. Good, I didn't remember what to do it. Now why this error gives us that, remember we have created main activity, we have created second activity, we created activity second XML and activity main XML. Now remember I had told you about manifest file, am I right? So whenever a manifest file is there, it will launch activities, correct? So first time when it launches, it will launch the main activity. Okay, so we have got one more activity, so to launch that also we need to specify. Okay, so you can type it anywhere, okay, either after this activity or before this activity, okay, but it should be there. So I'll say activity, okay, Android name second activity. Okay, all right, so when I do that, now if I run it, yes, it has to work. So remember guys, that error if it stop working, that you have not done anything on the Android file. So you need to tell the system that you are also launching, so because this is a launch pad, correct? So Android manifest files holds everything. I told you about manifest files, am I right? So it holds the entire application. Now when you go to second activity, it directly takes me here, correct? So this is second activity, go to main activity, so it will come back to my second main activity. This first activity, go to second activity. Okay, this is second activity, go to main activity. All right guys, now this is explicit, going from one activity to another activity. So hope I'm clear guys. So if you find any kind of errors, so kindly do revert back, and in the next tutorial we're gonna learn about adding two numbers, same intent, adding two numbers and displaying in another activity, the answer in the another activity. So after that we'll learn one more about splash screen, and then I'll give you a particular assignment. All right guys, that's for today's tutorial. Have a nice day.